Just over halfway through the season, and while we're in a good position in League On and in the Champions League phase, things are starting to wobble just a little bit. So now that it's January, might be time to freshen up the squad a little bit, which we have started to do. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legends Club 3, episode 18 with RC Lawns. My name is Craig, and come up on today's episode we do have a league match away against OGC Nice and the last Champions League phase match against Benfica, where we try to seal top 8. Now, since you were last with me, it's been a lot of matches. Most of the form has been absolutely fantastic since that PSG game, minus the Marseille game in December. It was our first loss in all competitions this season, and then this month happened. When we got into January, we have started to struggle a little bit in all competitions. We scraped through in the French Cup 10th round against a second division side, FC Metz, on penalties. We then put in an awful performance against Monaco in the league, which still kind of says we're not as good still as the top French clubs, which is kind of mad because we can play against the top sides very well in the Champions League, which we did in the last match against Man City. Yes, we lost 2-1. It's Manchester City away. Erling Haaland, of course, that menace, scored twice, but we put in a much better performance. In the middle of both of those, we beat Saint Etienne 3-0 with one new face that we're going to go through in just a moment, making a big impact. So I said that there were transfers that have come in and out. So let's go through the transfers that have gone out first of all. So Alberto Soto, he went to Gil Vicente for I think £215,000. Yes, he's doing well in Portugal apparently, but he was never going to play for us. Certainly not again. Yeah, he's just been spinning his wheels. He was out on loan at Sochaux last season, got relegated, and I wanted rid of him ever since. Before him though, we sold one of our strikers, Federico Girotti, 30-year-old Argentinian striker who has left for Brentford in the Premier League, £9.25 million. That seems quite low, and it is, but he only started one game for us in the first half of the season. He came to me, he wasn't happy about not playing, so I sort of yeeted him out of the club, just sold him on, see you later. He wasn't going to play for us, considering we're now going with more pacey strikers, and yes, physically he's still good, but he is absolutely awful at being an advanced forward for some reason. I mean, according to this, he can still play as an advanced forward, but it's not showing well in the match engines, so we just let him go and be happy in the Premier League. But we have since replaced Girotti with a few different players. First up, Jeremy Doku, a winger slash striker who can play as an advanced forward apparently, but he's predominantly not going to be playing there. He's probably going to be playing left or right wing. Very pacey, 3-star current ability, obviously 3-star potential. He's 27 years old. Bought him in for £5 million from Genoa in Italy, where apparently he hasn't even performed very well. If he serves as a good utility player for us, I'm not going to complain. Particularly he'll be back up for the likes of Rodriguez and Fernandez on the wings. He's basically the replacement as well for Thomas Lemar, because Lemar is retiring at the end of this season and he won't reconsider. So Doku is the cheaper, he is actually the cheaper, younger replacement who is also homegrown in nation, so he does well for our Champions League registration squads, which he is currently in. Also, this is probably the biggest signing I've made on this series so far, Karim Adeyemi, 28-year-old German striker. He is pacey, he's mentally very good. Technically, he has not developed that well. I feel like this is the worst version of Adeyemi I've seen in Football Manager. It's certainly any save I've seen so far. Why is this showing unlikely to improve in the future? Yeah, fair enough. But if he's still a good player, then I'm very, very happy to bring him in for £3 million from Borussia Dortmund. £3 million. That is disgustingly good. Kind of says just how badly he's done in this save so far. He has not hit double digits since before the save actually started. Wow. So I'm hoping he proves that he is a good bargain. I mean, he's had one league game so far, 1 goal, 2 assists. Couldn't ask for a better debut, could you? That was in the game against San Etienne, where he debuted. Didn't have the full match fitness, and yet he was still ploughing goals left, right, and centre. Amazing stuff. He was assisting as well the likes of Rossi and Adli in getting their goals. Fantastic. Right, so we do play Nice away from home, and I could just show you the league table here actually. Nice 2 birds in 1 stone. PSG have pulled away at the top, 7 points clear. We've got a game in hand, but we're kind of nervously looking over our shoulder at the likes of Marseille and Lyon. So we need to go and make sure we do the business against Nice first, who are sitting 5th in Ligue 1. So this is going to be the 11 that we're going to be sending out, bearing in mind we've got Benfica in just 3 days. Dennis Simon in goal, back four Mameni, Bishabu, Danso and Infantino, Jorgensen, Vega and Bertuccini on the midfield 3, Fernandez and Adli on the wings with Marco Danello, the man up front. We do have a few injury concerns and Rodriguez being suspended. He did also pick up a knock in training, so it keeps him out for a few days. Perfectly timed. Varchetta has been out since November. He's back in 3 days, but chances are you probably won't see him for the Benfica match unless he's on the bench, but very unlikely. Stingel is out for up to 2 weeks. It's just behind my head. And Helder Silva is back in 4 days. So unfortunately, Rodriguez aside, you probably won't be seeing any of the other guys in this episode, which is a shame. Varchetta is a very, very good young player. I say young, he's 22 now. But Rossi has stepped up in his absence, which is excellent to see. Bertuccini has started, but he's still sort of a bit part player. So he still needs a lot of seasoning. I think he's only like a year or 2 younger than Rossi and Varchetta. But this is why I said when we bought Rossi in the summer, he sort of has those Varchetta vibes. He has the same sort of strengths. He's also Italian, plays in the same position, and can play as a central midfielder on attack. And we're still on extended highlights. Let me sort that out. We've just lost the ball in the opening 15 seconds. That does not bode very well, does it? We are on key highlights now, though. I don't want this episode being like 30 minutes long, if we can help it. Vega plays the ball forward to Fernandez, looking for a better performance than what we saw against Monaco. Fernandez, and oh, it's off the bar. I was certain that was going to be in the back of the net, but not quite the case. But a much better start. Good to see Fernandez back in the starting lineup. He's been taking a bit of a break recently. He's been very tired. So just trying to conserve his energy. I'm still wary of playing him for 2 games per week. Playing out from the back here. My goodness, our midfield is so far away. We are playing a low block, right? Goodness me. Okay, that's probably why our engagement is still... It's not high, but we are completely... We just have to lump the ball forwards. That's not very good. What I might have to do is move Vega back to a defensive duty in his ball winning midfielder role, because we are kind of exposed a little bit, I think, in midfield. There's been a lot of shots already and Nice have had the better of it. They've not had a shot on target, and look at their XG already. What is going on there? We are starting to struggle heavily with certain games, especially against teams near the top of the league in that XG. Right, let's just see what changes we can make. I'm disappointed so far. Fernandez is shattered. Doku is going to come on. This will be the first time you'll see him, actually. And you know what? Karim Adeyemi, he's going to come on for Danello. I think Bertuccini needs to come back. No, actually, Vega is going to come back on a defensive role. Let's see if we can have a marked improvement in this second half. But either our players are just out of form, what's the mid-season slump, or our tactic is just... that's just wide. Or our tactic's just been figured out. Maybe it might be worth making some changes in terms of how we actually shape up against a lot of teams. Marseille are smacking Ajaccio or JCO 5-2. I still don't know how to say that name. I apologise. But our players are looking very, very tired at the moment. We are just going to take down the tempo a little bit and also start looking at making some changes with 20 minutes to go. So Jorgensen is going to swap with Bishabu. Bishabu is going to go off. Oh no, Bishabu is going to stay on. Jorgensen's the one who's going to come off. Sorry, he's going to come off for Lenormand. Stingel would have been handy in this case, but he's obviously injured. Infantino is going to come off for Rico Lewis, and Steven Vega Yeah, go for Rene Lopez. Lopez has been playing more as a central midfielder, ball-winning midfielder role, which is actually quite handy. I mean, you can tell a lot has actually happened in this game because I'm having to talk about players and their different positions. I mean, look at the Marseille JCO match, 5-3. That's disgusting. I've tried to encourage the players. I mean, with 2 minutes left, there's not much more we could do unless we can sneak a last-minute winner. Bishabu plays out wide to Adley. Let's see if we can just create one more chance. Bishabu, guys. I know the tempo's down low, but you can get the ball forward a bit more. Yeah, Adley. Oh, turns his man well. Bertuccini. We got a couple of players forward. And now it's Adeyemi with a last-minute winner. And that is £3 million well spent. Bertuccini with a fantastic assist. And the best part is, didn't even have to bring Rossi on. Saving for the Champions League. Bertuccini bursting forward. Adeyemi in the middle of the box. And Bertuccini does well to find him. And that is a last-minute winner. See it out, lads. That's a 1-0 win. We did not play that well. I don't care. We did the job. 3 points in the bag, and that puts us back into second place. So with 20 games gone, second place, we are fighting Marseille at the moment, but what matters, we try and stay in second place and see if we can try and keep on the coattails of PSG. But now, as you can see what the next game is, we turn our attentions to the Champions League and hopefully secure top 8 and that all-important round of 16. We want to avoid the playoffs, so let's go and seal that top 8 finish. Right, second match against Benfica for securing top 8 in the Champions League phase, hopefully. So, Simon in goal, back four, Fatisari, Lenormand, Bishabu and Infantino, with Jorgensen at the base of midfield, Vega and Rossi ahead of him. Fernandez and Rodriguez on the wings, with Danilo, the man up front. The main reason I'm going for Danilo ahead of Adeyemi to start this, I still do like Danilo as the main striker. But if Adeyemi still continues to perform, it's a nice problem to have, isn't it? It will mean Danilo is constantly going to be looking over his shoulder, wondering, I need to perform. And that's what I want him to do. I've just noticed as well on the previous screen, Benfica don't have a manager. Now the Portuguese leagues are not actually loaded, so I have no idea what's going on in Benfica's season. But I've noticed in their schedule, just before I hit records, that they have been improving in Europe in recent games, so this is clearly not a terrible Benfica side. But maybe they're struggling domestically to the point where hopefully, we might be able to take advantage of them. I also have the league table on so we can keep an eye on the top 8 as we just hit the bar within the first 4 minutes. That's good intensity to start. As you can see, we are sitting 6th at the moment. A lot of teams have already played because they played the previous evening. So we are just hoping to stay in that top 8. A victory would guarantee that. A draw might be enough, but I don't really want to risk it. As someone just went in for a wild lunge, and that's already a penalty. Oh, you've got a lot of big games in Football Manager. They always give away a penalty, don't they? Alright, come on, Dennis Simon. Yep, that's a penalty. Come on, Dennis Simon. We need you to perform heroics here. Jamero stepped up, and he's blazed it. A sign of Benfica completely bottling it recently. I love to see it. You love to see it. And hopefully that spurs us on. Gives us a bit of a warning that we shouldn't be taking these guys lightly. Let's just go and seal the victory. As we are, at the moment, we're down to 7th place in that league table. Play it back. That's it. Rodriguez on the right-hand side tries to find Rossi, but too many players in the box. Just be a bit more direct, man. Honestly. Well done, Jorgensen. Rodriguez. For God's sake, just let go of the ball. Thank you very much, Jorgensen. Right, play it through. That's it, Rodriguez. Just put it into the middle. Or don't, have a shot, but Fernandez puts it back into the middle and it's hoofed clear and I don't even know what is happening. We are on key highlights, right? Yes, we are. Just about cleared by Normand as... Can we just win the ball back and get up the other end, please? And they are through here and blaze another chance over. They're getting way too close. We need to be stepping up a little bit. We are more tired than them. Says to me we're playing a lot more games. Fernandez. I was going to say, just play it. Doesn't matter. It's a goal. It's gone to the back of the net. Fernandez knows better than me. Who am I to question probably the best player at our club outside of Adeyemi and Danilo? You get the idea. But Fernandez, with his 6th goal of the season, it pays to try and keep him fresh as the ball actually deflected underneath the legs of Pickford. And how's Pickford ended up in Portugal, by the way? Did Everton just sack him off? We probably need to do that in real life as well. Rossi with the ball. Rodriguez now with the ball. I'm not lagging about 5 seconds behind this match engine, I'm telling you. Jolson Fernandez skips the legs of the defender. My throat is still dry after being ill. It doesn't matter. Rodriguez scores 2-0. Much, much better. See, this is what I want from Lons a little bit more. Just be a bit more direct. Get the ball into the box. Either at the feet of Danilo or on the head of the likes of Rodriguez. Or Danilo. Whichever one. I don't even know how tall Danilo is. I think he's only just about 6 feet tall. So just looking at that league table, even though we're winning, we are just about sitting 6th place. Which says teams around us are all winning their games as well, as Danilo gets the ball forward. Oh, almost made it 3-0. That would have sealed it. I mean, there's quite a few teams, good grief, yeah. Everyone is winning around us. Madrid, us, I'm guessing Chelsea are as well. I think Chelsea have already played. Oh, we're back up to 4th now. I think Atalanta are playing at the same time as us. Might be having to look at making a few substitutions. Some of our players are starting to tire a little bit. Infantino, probably one of those. He's played a lot of games recently. Rossi, I was going to say, just play the ball forwards. And yes, he has done that. Danilo's just avoided the offside trap and hits the bar. Audacious effort. And oh my god, a lot of our players are actually tired. Wow. Right, serious substitutions are happening here. Doku's going to come on for Fernandez. Varchetta is actually back from injury, but I'd rather not use him in this game. Jorgensen is going to go off for... Oh my god, Bishabu needs to come off as well. You know what? Danso. Danso. Go in as the anchor. And Infantino is tired and on a yellow. So Rico Lewis is actually going to come on. Danilo, ironically, Danilo is okay. He's not playing very well though, which says to me Adeyemi might need a bit of a run in the team. And we're going to make one more substitution. Just thinking, who should that be? You know what? I think it's going to have to be Lopez. Just a bit of energy in the middle of the field. It's kind of what we need. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to drop the tempo just a little bit. There's no point completely destroying our entire squad. A lot of players are still tired, but we're just trying to manage things a little bit towards the end of this match, as currently we sit 4th in the league phase. Oh, how did you not get onto that ball, Danilo? He's actually in poor form. Adeyemi might have to come in, and bear in mind as well, we've got Silva coming back in the next few days, so chances are hopefully you'll see him in the next episode. Doku getting the ball forwards. Don't know who that was supposed to be lumped to. Might just have to say shorter passing. Yeah, just shorter passing. Let's just try and keep hold of it if we can. Well done, Sari. Doku. Changes obviously haven't gone through yet. Rossi just about does enough there. Lewis into Rodriguez. 3-0 will be great right now, and that is it. Job done. 3-0. We should be into the round of 16 of the Champions League. Once again, I apologise if you're seeing a lot of cuts. I've still got a cough. It's mostly a dry cough as well after being ill, so trying to have as much water as possible. Great finish by Rodriguez. And that should hopefully seal our place in the round of 16. Who is the most tired out of everyone? Rodriguez, actually Bishabu. Bishabu can come off. For Lonketin. Lonketin can get a few minutes. He's not been happy about not getting game time. The only reason he's still around is because he's homegrown in nation. Danilo. Just plays it back. We're just killing a bit of time now, which is good to see. Beautiful stuff. But Danilo plays it over to Rodriguez. Trying to just carve an opening, see what we can do. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, it's very unlucky. It is offside, but great football, great movement. That's what you love to see. All the game management is going to go on. Let's just waste the time down. We've got Troyes in the cup at the weekend, which we are taking seriously this season. Oh, that's a good free kick by Rodriguez. Great save though by Pickford. And there you have it. It is now full-time, 3-0 result into the final 16 of the Champions League. Excellent stuff. Lads seem happy with that, and we finish in 4th place. That's really good. 19 points. What's that out of 24? That is not bad. We're definitely been very good in this league phase. Now onto the business end of the Champions League round of 16, which will be the next episode. It looks like the draw for the round of 16 is not going to be for a while. The playoff round is yet to be drawn, so we are going to come back, as I mentioned, for that round of 16. It'll probably be around here somewhere, so it'll be a nice little surprise for the next episode when you come back of who we're going to face. If you have enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the upcoming knockout rounds of the Champions League. The business end starts now. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your support on the series so far, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.